Hi everyone, welcome to our weekly update. My name is Mark, and if you like the content, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and share this video with a friend. So I'd like to start, as I always do, with Bitcoin. So as you can see, Bitcoin has taken quite a move lower to the downside. So it started with this move that you can see here on the 14th of April. We made a little bit of a recovery, and then we took a massive dump from about 60,000 down to 30,000. Now that is around about 50% of the volume of Bitcoin was lost in the matter of days. So this is a huge deal, and it is a huge dump. So I wanted to give you a bit of context and explain to you my opinion on why this has happened. So this is my opinion, don't hold me to it. This is not financial advice, but ultimately I want to share with you what I think has happened over the last few days and see if it can give you a little bit of an insight. So one thing that no one's really talking about as well that I want to point out is the correlation between Bitcoin and gold. So a couple of years ago, maybe 12 months ago, I started saying that Bitcoin would be classed as a new safe haven asset. The traditional safe haven asset is gold. And so in a environment where everyone is selling, people are selling stocks, people are selling shares, they're normally selling oil, that money would normally get pumped into gold. But as you can see, this correlation, as the Bitcoin sell-off started on the 15th of April, you can see as we're going down with Bitcoin that the gold actually is going up. So that you can look at this whichever way you will. But I actually took out a long gold position on about the 30th of March. And the gold's been doing pretty well. But ultimately, I think this is the bottom for Bitcoin. I don't think it's going to go any lower than 30,000. I think we've hit the bottom, and now Bitcoin's going to start going back up. I think you'll see gold starting to go back down. So I've closed that long position on gold. It could still go up, I don't know. But I think that it's Bitcoin's time to shine and recover. And as it recovers, the money that was put into gold will be moved over into Bitcoin. Okay, my reason for thinking that we dumped so hard, well, the first reason is to do with Wells Fargo. So Wells Fargo announced on Wednesday, which ultimately was the day of the crash, that they will start accepting digital currencies, and they've developed a major cryptocurrency strategy for their wealthy clients. This is after Goldman Sachs moved to allow Wall Street investors to trade with derivatives tied to Bitcoin prices. So it's no coincidence that the big guns like Goldman Sachs and Wells Fargo are jumping into Bitcoin just as Bitcoin takes a massive move to the downside. So the US Treasury last night called for stricter cryptocurrency compliance. Basically now, if you transfer any cryptocurrency worth 10,000 US dollars or more, you have to report it to the IRS. So this has come from Janet Yellen, who is the Treasury Secretary. And Gary Gensler, who is the chairman of the US Treasury and a former Goldman Sachs partner, is across this too. So what I'm trying to say is on Wednesday, the guys at Wells Fargo and Goldman Sachs announced that they're going to start selling crypto. Then we see this massive move to the downside. Crypto hits $30,000 and then recovers, and now he's starting to go back up. It isn't a coincidence. I think what's happened is that these big banks have decided that they want to jump into crypto, but the price is just too high. You know, we're not going to pay 50,000. We're not going to pay $60,000 for our Bitcoins for our wealthiest clients. We want to get them at 30,000. So how do we manipulate the markets so that we can get Bitcoin cheaper, get it onto our balance sheet for 30,000, and then we can start offering it to our clients? And I really believe that's exactly what's happened here. So Wells Fargo, we've got Gary Gensler, who is the chairman of the Treasury and used to be a former partner of Goldman Sachs, and Janet Yellen, all screaming from the hills to dump Bitcoin. As soon as the dumps happened, Bitcoin recovers and Wells Fargo jump into Bitcoin at 30,000. So it kind of proves that like the central banks are starting to lose control. What I was saying to a few friends earlier is that the bankers are starting to panic, and a lot of it is to do with the Federal Reserve's money printing. So the Federal Reserve are printing money like it's gone out of fashion. I believe they've printed something in the region of $5 trillion in the past 12 months. And from that amount of ridiculous money printing, they're trying to improve the US economy so it can flex their muscle against China. As you know, China is becoming more and more and more of a superpower, and the US are scared. They're worried that China's going to take their power and that maybe eventually China will become the global reserve currency. So central banks are starting to lose control. This means from the Fed to the central banks to the bankers who are midline bankers, and they're starting to worry now. And this is why Janet Yellen has said, well, all right, we'll just start taxing crypto then, because if people are going to take their US dollars that have been printed, pop it into crypto, if we don't tax it, we're never going to get a slice of the pie. So for me personally, I actually feel that some crypto regulation would be good, especially around our exchanges. You know, I live in Australia, and here in Australia, we just do a profit and loss with capital gains. I have to declare my capital gains, and yeah, you know, if I've made capital gains on the selling of crypto, I'll just pay tax on it. Just on that, so the Australian senator, she's the senator for financial services here in Australia, Jane Hume. She's basically said that cryptocurrency is not a fad. It is an asset class that will grow in importance. And she emphasized that the government won't stand in the way of crypto investing. She even mentions Dogecoin, which I find was a little bit funny. Just down here. I would like to make it clear, cryptocurrency is not a fad, it is an asset class that will grow with importance. If you want to invest in Dogecoin, I won't stand in your way. So that's basically an endorsement from the Senate of Australia for Australians to be able to continue using crypto. It's come out more or less the same day that the US Treasury calls for stricter cryptocurrency compliance to regulate crypto so that people making huge gains on crypto can start paying tax. So these two things are actually really, really good. The news might put the fear of God into people, and people will start panicking. But ultimately, these are both really good outcomes for Australia and the US. They're going to tighten regulation, which is only going to send Bitcoin higher. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about was what to do if you brought in at the top. So I'm going to use Theta as today's example. And so if you brought Theta at what have I done for the example here? So if you brought Theta back in March at $10, and then you saw it go up to $13, and then it's, you know, consolidated around, but then we've actually taken a massive dump down. The best thing you can actually do with your Theta, rather than panic and go, well, I brought it at 10 and now it's at 7, I think I should sell, is actually, if you'd have been smart money, you probably would have brought more Theta here at about $5. This basically then dollar cost averages your trade. So let me break it down for you. If you brought $1,000 worth of Theta at $10 back in March, and then after the crash, you brought $1,000 of Theta for $5 just the other day after the crash, your average cost of spend for Theta would be $7.50, which would put us about here. So basically, you're only just making a little bit of a loss now. So rather than looking at it that, oh my gosh, Theta's down, sell, 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 the best way to do it really is to actually buy some more at the bottom and dollar cost average it together. So, you know, don't panic. Crypto is volatile. Yes, it's not every day we have a 50% correction, granted, and it is pretty scary, especially if you haven't been in crypto for a long time. I had some trades that were active from the Crypto Coach trading group. Now, we always recommend using a stop loss. We had a 25% stop loss on all of our trades. I went to sleep. I woke up the next day. Bitcoin had crashed down to $30,000 thanks to Wells Fargo and the US bank mafia. And then once I'd realized that there'd been a huge crash like that, I jumped online. I didn't panic. All of my trades that had been liquidated, they were mainly shit coins and speculative coins. They got liquidated, that's fine. I only lost 25%. Some of them were down anyway, so I might have only lost 10%. The money was transferred back into USDT, and then I went and made an investment in USDT for Bitcoin and Theta, getting some cheap Theta at the bottom and getting some cheap Bitcoin at the bottom too. And this is kind of what I want to try and teach you guys in the Crypto Coach. All right, so we'll just have a quick look at the markets. Everything's looking a little bit more steady today. So Bitcoin's back at 41,000 after dropping as low as 30,000. So hey, if you were as smart as Wells Fargo and you brought Bitcoin at 30,000, great job, well done. Looking down, a couple of things. ICP has rose 40% in the past 24 hours, but over the last 7 days, I think it's up pretty high. It's the first time I've ever seen it in the top 10. So obviously this will go now on the watch list. Another one that jumped out to me is Polymatic now made it into the top 20. This was a pretty low ranking coin a few months ago. So the fact that it's made it to top 20 is great. And here's Theta sitting now at number 21. As I said in our last video, I really expect Theta to try to challenge that top 10. Get back into the top 10 soon. So we're going to see the Theta train out of the station. Another reason for me jumping into here is to show you about Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance, let me pull up a chart. Bitcoin dominance. So back in 2017, Bitcoin dominance was at 87%. And then when we went into the bear market after 2017, let's go January 2018, Bitcoin dominance was as low as 33%. So I think that's the lowest it's ever been. 36% here in July 2018. And then obviously we started to make quite a decent pullback. We got up to this peak here at 69%, and now we've taken a massive drop down. Now this is mainly to do with altcoin season, so it's just basic arithmetic. If everyone's putting money into their altcoins, the price of Bitcoin and the dominance of Bitcoin in the market is going to go down. Now Bitcoin has never been lower than 33%. And we're currently trading at 39%. So we're getting pretty close to the lowest Bitcoin dominance ever. Now, some people might say that altcoins are taking over and it's time for the altcoins to start dominating the market. My personal opinion is that Bitcoin is the king and Bitcoin will start to gain its dominance back. And I expect it to to range here in about the 60% region. So for all of the crypto coach community, everybody that's following our trade signals channel, and anyone that follows me on Twitter, I did post a buy on Bitcoin. Had some pretty major buy signals, especially down here. So we put on a buy yesterday at 38,000. We've got a take profit at 50 and a take profit at market top at 62. I'll be tempted to keep Bitcoin longer term than that, but this is just for trading purposes. And as you can see, we're already up 8% from yesterday's trade, so that's not too bad at all. So if you'd like to learn more about the Crypto Coach, and if you'd like to get on board with our Trade Signals channel, you can jump onto Twitter. It's twitter.com/the_crypto_coach, and you can click for a 1-month free trial. There's lots of links throughout Twitter. Here is the Bitcoin post that I've posted, and yep, follow me on Twitter, join our Trade Signals group to get more insights from me about what I think about Bitcoin and the altcoin market. Okay, so I think that's everything from me today. So have a really successful week. I think it's time. I think we've hit the bottom. I think it's time for Bitcoin and the altcoin market to move up. The US Treasury, the US government, the Chinese government, they've done what they can now. They've brought the price down as low as it possibly can. The whales have come in and scooped up the price at 30,000. I think now's the time to watch it start going back up. So good luck. Be careful out there. And if you're trading altcoins, always make sure that you've got a stop loss implemented. And I'll see you all next week. Thanks for watching.